What's going on, you bunch of heathens? We're back with another mustard video. At least I think I've done a mustard video before. I'm pretty sure, at least. But this one is called The Sinking No One Could Explain, which obviously piqued my interest. I mean, not only am I doing a video on it, it's just I'm interested in this kind of thing. I like weird ship sinking, ship accidents type thing. I find it really interesting. I can't remember what the other fucking there was one channel that I used to watch all the time. It had some pretty cool stuff. I can't remember what they're called for the life of me. I'll figure it out at some point, but they had some really interesting stuff. So I decided, hey, this seemed interesting enough for me to watch it. Make sure you check out the original. It'll be linked down below. Let's, I guess, jump in.
On the evening of September 9th, 1980, a massive cargo ship pushes through the Pacific, bound for Japan.
Ooh.
Approaching from the east is Typhoon Orchid, a powerful storm growing more violent by the hour.
Oh, that's not good.
For 8 weeks, the MV Derbyshire had sailed all the way from the vast iron mines of Canada, her holds packed with 150,000 tons of ore. She had crossed the Atlantic, skirted Africa's southernmost tip, and carved her way through the vast Indian Ocean. After 8 weeks out at sea, the ship's crew of 42 seasoned seafarers...
God, 8 weeks? Fuck, is it technically worth... Well, what depends. What year did he say this was? I'm at 38. 1980. I was about to say, is the Panama Canal open? So I was gonna say, is it really worth it to go cut across the Atlantic, around the Horn, and then through the Indian Ocean? Would that technically be worth it? 1914, so yes, very much so been there. Huh, there's got to be a reason why they didn't use it then. So all I was thinking is that seems very fucking, like 8 weeks though, holy shit. And you know you're sailing into a typhoon with 150,000 tons?
After
God,
8 weeks
that's
out
scary.
at sea, the ship's crew of 42 seasoned seafarers, engineers, and deckhands are looking forward to wrapping up the final leg of their long voyage.
I'd be
The
fucking,
Derbyshire's captain,
I'd be the same
47-year-old
way.
Jeffrey Underhill is a trusted British mariner.
Oh, that's cool. I like this. I like it when I praise Yarnhub for doing it. I like it when you put actual faces to names. That is one thing I really enjoy, because it personalizes them a bit more.
With over 2 decades of experience,
gives me a face to
he
think
too
about.
is looking forward to completing the voyage.
I bet.
His wife has flown out from England to wait for him in Japan for a welcome reunion after months out at sea.
Oh, that's sweet.
But on the otherwise routine crossing, there is one minor concern relating to Typhoon Orchid. For days, Captain Underhill has been relying on conflicting weather reports. Convinced he could outrun the storm, he's held course, trusting his ship's speed and power. But now, there's no escape. The nearest safe harbor is hundreds of kilometers away, and changing course would expose the ship's broadside to the typhoon's full force.
So maybe not the smartest idea. Ooh. Probably not. Oh, that's kind of shitty to gamble with all your crew's lives.
What Captain Underhill does next is standard procedure. He reduces speed and turns the ship's bow at a slight angle to the waves, a nautical maneuver used to stabilize a vessel in rough seas.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He also sent out a message to controllers thousands of kilometers away, reporting severe weather and the ship's position. But over the next few hours, the storm only intensifies. The waves swell more than 10 meters high and near...
God, I know that this is called it. I don't know why I'm surprised. I was hoping for like something a bit better, despite the fact that the name of the video is The Sinking No One Could Explain. I don't know why I'm like surprised about it.
As long as the Derbyshire herself, the massive ship climbs each peak then slams into the troughs.
Oh, that's scary.
Despite the heavy seas,
Like,
there's
fuck.
no sign of distress.
I mean, it's a fucking cargo ship with a shitload of ore in it. I've seen videos of like destroyers and whatnot, like military ships doing that shit, and it is scary then. I can't imagine.
Captain Underhill stands firm. He knows his ship, and he's seen worse. At nearly 170,000 tons, the Derbyshire is a steel fortress. Stretching
That's good,
nearly
at least.
1,000 feet, she's longer than the Titanic and nearly twice as wide, towering 50.
Okay, I get the Titanic was big. Probably not the best idea to bring up a fucking cruise ship that, you know, the biggest claim to fame is the fact that it sunk.
Stories from engine room to bridge, each of her 9 holds is the size of a 7-story building. And she's not just big, she's
that's
state
fucking
of the art,
huge.
built to withstand some of the most brutal seas on Earth. Tonight should
Yeah,
be
but will
no
she
different.
will
On
she
board,
survive this though?
Everything is routine. The crew monitor systems, secure loose equipment, and adjust heading and engine power. They'll simply ride out the storm.
I mean,
But
they
out
obviously
there in the
don't, but
blackness,
still.
Beyond the crew's notice, something unseen and unstoppable is already in motion.
Oh
By
no,
dawn,
what?
The Derbyshire and everyone on board will be gone. And for nearly
Wait,
2
really?
decades, the world won't know why.
20 years?
The Derbyshire fell silent on September 9th, 1980. No distress call, no final message. And for 6 days, nothing happened. The ship's owner didn't even report it missing. Maybe it was confidence that the ship had simply lost radio contact and would.
I mean, sure, maybe, but why would you not be worried? Like, hey, I lost my ship was last seen in the middle of the storm, and I lost contact with them a few days ago. Can we be, like, why would you not worry about that?
But the days stretched on, and still no word. It wasn't until September 15th that the alarm was finally raised. But
God,
by
too
then,
little, too fucking
whatever
late.
happened was long over. An international search began with air and sea units scouring the ship's last known coordinates. But they found nothing. No debris, no life rafts, no wreckage. Less than a week later, the search was called off. The media seized on the ship's disappearance as an oddity. Smaller ships had weathered the typhoon just fine.
Yeah, that is a little
Derbyshire
weird.
Vanished without even a distress call. The official explanation was that the sea had simply taken the ship, a conclusion drawn almost immediately. And just as quickly as the search ended, so did the news coverage. Authorities repeatedly dismissed calls to keep searching. There was
Oh,
nothing
nah,
to
bro,
be
I'd
found,
be-
they insisted.
I'm crashing out over that. My husband, my family is gone. And you guys, the owner of his company waited almost a week to finally say, hey, there's something wrong. Couple days search and you fucking call it? And even when I keep trying to get you to look more into it, you're gonna fucking dismiss me? Nah, bro, I'm crashing out over
Nothing
that.
to investigate. But for the families left behind, it just didn't add up. The search had been too brief, the answers too convenient. It was as if something was deliberately being hidden.
That's what it seems like.
The Derbyshire was built only 4 years earlier at the Swan Hunter shipyard in Britain, another steel giant joining the world's ever-expanding fleet. She could transport over 150,000 tons, more than 4 times what ships could just a couple decades earlier.
Wow. That's actually that's a fucking brand new ship then. It's 4 years old?
And for good reason.
Multinational corporations are driving record demand for raw materials and goods.
The Derbyshire was also a new kind of ship.
The OBO, or Ore Bulk Oil Carrier, is a new class of ship that can transport a variety.
Oh, let me guess. My guess is something was actually wrong with the fucking ship. Like a manufacturer defect, and so they're fucking trying to hide it.
It meant the Derbyshire could sail from the Middle East to Australia,
To my
loaded
bet.
with oil, and then make the return trip carrying iron ore.
There's no ballast time, no empty returns. A well-operated OBO keeps moving and keeps earning, generating 20 to 30% higher revenues.
The Derbyshire
sounds
was
fucking-
just one of 6 ships in a series of OBO carriers known as the Bridge class, ordered by Britain's leading shipping firms and built by one of the country's top shipbuilders.
Sounds like
There
a
was
fucking
lot
ship that you would
riding on the
love to
design.
have.
By the 1970s,
Especially corporations, like, that's
Britain's
money to
shipbuilding
be
dominance
made.
was starting to slip. Japan and South Korea were building ships faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. And
Oh.
Swan Hunter once
Why do I feel like some corner was cut and now they're fucking trying to cover it up?
Industry struggled to stay competitive.
That's what I'm betting.
Facing mounting pressure to cut costs. So whatever ended up dooming the Derbyshire might have been there from the very start.
Did they oversell
Peter Ridyard
the
lost his
abilities
son
of it?
aboard the Derbyshire. Like other family members, he was desperate for answers.
Fuck yeah,
But
as you
Ridyard
should be.
wasn't just a grieving father. He was an expert, a seasoned ship surveyor. who knew the
Oh
industry.
shit! Oh shit, buddy! Oh shit! You fucked with a family who has fucking
And when he
credentials.
started digging around, he made a shocking discovery. In 1982, just 18 months after the Derbyshire vanished, another bridge-class ship was caught in a violent storm. As the crew battled the raging North Sea, something terrifying happened. Massive cracks began appearing just forward of the superstructure.
Oh
The
shit!
captain, fearing his ship would break apart, ordered an evacuation, airlifting the crew to safety.
Fucking smart
Digging
captain.
deeper, Ridyard learned that what happened wasn't an isolated incident. Every bridge-class ship had developed stress cracks, all in the exact same area. And one by one, they were quietly being brought into port for repairs.
And of course,
Then
quietly,
Ridyard
we
uncovered
can't have
something
any kind of
even
undo.
more alarming. The ships hadn't been built according to their original plans, with several last-minute modifications having been made at the shipyard. Ridyard suspected shoddy workmanship and what he believed to be a flaw in the ship's design. Determined to expose the truth,
Of course.
he sent his findings to the Department of Transportation.
Let's see if they actually. Yeah, but got nowhere. Imagine that. They're probably in on it. I mean, if Britain is losing their fucking shipbuilding dominance to Japan and South Korea, of course they're gonna fucking look the other way just to try to fucking stay relevant. God damn, that's
got
fucking
nowhere.
horrendous.
The Department of Transport say they're always willing to look at any fresh evidence that might be presented to them, but they point out that the sinking of the Derbyshire was thoroughly investigated at the time.
Oh, sure, thoroughly investigated. 3 days. I think I think it was only 3 days. Something like that. No, it wasn't.
And they have no
They're
plans
fucking
for any
liars.
further inquiry.
Officials refused to listen.
Also, I'm not looking at the fucking Derby necessarily. I'm talking about the whole fleet itself. This is brand new info because you have this other ship that had stress cracks. You had other ships that are showing the same symptom. They weren't built to the actual specifications. The fuck do you
But
mean?
the families refused to be ignored. In
Good for them.
1984, they formed the Derbyshire Families Association, determined to expose the truth. In November 1986, yet another bridge-class ship was caught in distress. The Kowloon Bridge had broken up in shallow waters off the
shit.
coast of Ireland. While crossing the Atlantic and battling rough seas, her hull, already weakened, began to crack under the relentless force of the ocean.
Hey, bitches. Now that this is an island, this is fucking close enough to home where you can't cover this shit
the
up.
Kowloon Bridge was the only remaining bridge-class ship that hadn't undergone repairs other than the Derbyshire. And now, with her destruction unfolding in full view,
Yeah, what's
the
up,
British government
bitches?
could no longer ignore the suspicions
Yeah.
surrounding the Derbyshire's
You
disappearance.
can't fucking hide it.
An official inquiry was finally opened. For 6 months, experts, shipbuilders, and lawyers paraded their theories. But all along, something was off. Peter Ridyard was never allowed to present his research.
Of course not. That would be way too fucking inconvenient for the fucking government who
Mountain of evidence
tried to
pointing
hide this.
structural failure, his concerns were barely acknowledged. And on January 18th, 1989, the official findings were published. No evidence of structural failure. The Derbyshire was just another ship that had been lost to the sea.
They're still
The
hiding
families
it.
were outraged. They had spent years fighting for the truth, and now all the doors had shut. All they had left was to plead their case to anyone who would listen.
We want men to go away to sea, knowing that the ship underneath them is safe. not worrying whether they'd come home again or not.
There have been
Exactly.
6 sister ships along with the Derbyshire, all of which appear to have had structural faults, and I think it's...
For years, the families fought to keep their story alive. And in 1994, their persistence
I'd be
finally
pissed.
paid off. The International Transport Workers Federation, compelled by the family's plight, decided enough was enough. In May 1994, a team of investigators, funded by the ITF, traveled to the remote waters where the Derbyshire was last heard from. The odds were against them.
Well,
The
yeah,
ship
this...
had vanished 14 years.
Yeah, 14 years. And they say 20, they say 2 decades, so like another at least a couple more years. 4 more years until they, or 14, no, 6 more years until they find anything.
Earlier, and British officials had long insisted that finding it would be impossible. But they found the ship in just 23 hours.
Wow! It's almost like they didn't fucking try.
Nearly 4 kilometers down.
You don't hate the
resting
government
silently
enough.
On the ocean floor. The Derbyshire was no longer just a name printed on a lost ship report. But it would take another 6 years to fully piece together the puzzle. And the haunting images made one thing unmistakably clear.
Oh my god, it's
Everyone
fucking
was
destroyed.
wrong about what really happened.
That's a big ass crack. So what happened? Like, if you look at this big ass crack right here. Like, the rest of this, you could determine it actually hitting the seafloor or whatever, all that. This, though, that's a huge fucking
Really
crack.
happened. On the evening of September 9th, 1980, the bridge of the MV Derbyshire is tense but composed. Captain Geoffrey
Good.
Underhill and his officers monitor the typhoon's progress, adjusting course and running the engines at reduced speed for
I mean, okay, I'm not a fan over the fact that he gambled with his people's lives, but he was under the impression that this ship is like one of the best built. It can handle this no problem. Okay, I can understand that
controlled
then.
maneuvering. Instruments flicker, and the ship's steel frame groans as it pitches violently, plunging into deep troughs before climbing the next towering crest. But despite the rough conditions, there's an unspoken confidence. Their ship is built for this. Yet what the crew doesn't realize is
that it wasn't
the Derbyshire
actually
is
built.
already beginning to lose the battle. At the very front of the ship, waves hammer the foredeck, sending
Is that where the
thousands
crack
of
is?
gallons of seawater over deck fittings, hatches, and ventilation covers. Over the course of hours,
I think that's
the
around where
sheer
the
force of
fucking
water
crack is.
has damaged or torn them away. Below
Oh, that's
is
not
a
good.
space called the boson store. It gradually fills with thousands of pounds of water. The added weight pulls the bow deeper into the storm, allowing
God, yeah, hold on. I gotta look this up then. Let's go, you said thousands, so let's go 2,000 pounds of... No, because he said pounds. Okay, so yeah, thousands of pounds. So, right? He did say pounds, right? Yeah, thousands of pounds. So, that's... And it's just constantly filling up with more. So that's gonna fuck
even
with
more
the
waves
front.
to crash over the deck.
Which then fills it up with
ventilator
more.
tops designed to keep the water out are further weakened. One by one, they're torn away, exposing machinery rooms and the four-peak ballast tank below.
Oh no,
These too
not the
begin to
ballast.
flood, adding even more weight to the bow and
Oh, it's
causing
just
the
gonna
ship
s-
to ride even lower into the waves.
Oh god, no, because that's just gonna continue. Oh
On the
no,
bridge,
that's
the
just gonna continue
difference is
pulling it down.
imperceptible, But the Derbyshire is struggling, growing increasingly vulnerable to the oncoming waves. Massive crests now slam into the forward deck.
Oh fuck.
And the number 1 hold hatch cover, measuring about the size of a tennis court, gives way under the crushing force of the
Oh,
water.
and that.
Thousands
Not only do you have 100, would they say 150,000 tons? You now have that entire thing filled with
of
water.
tons of seawater explode into the cargo hold. The added weight is
How much did you
thousands
say?
of tons of seawater explode into the cargo
Oh
hold.
no.
The added weight is merciless, forcing the bow to lurch even lower.
It's
The number
right
2
here.
hatch cover
Before the number 2, this right here, this is, fuck it, this is super bad. This is gonna doom the ship. I'm assuming this one pops open
is
too.
next. Driven inward by the wave pressure, it also quickly fills with water.
And now
As the
you're
bow
definitely
sinks
fucked.
further, the massive ship is pushed to its limits, straining under the
Does
sheer
it snap in
weight.
half?
Then, the final blow. Number 3 hold gives way, and all
Oh,
forward
fuck.
freeboard and buoyancy is lost. The remaining hatch covers implode, setting off
All
a
the
domino
rest of them
effect.
do?
Each collapse more violent than the last. Below the surface, the pressure collapses air pockets and tanks, tearing the vessel apart from within. The Derbyshire, the largest British flagged vessel ever lost at sea, disappears beneath the Pacific.
How fast did that happen? That would have had to have happened fucking incredibly fast. Even if they did get out, even if someone got out, it took 6 days for rescue efforts to get there. Those guys probably would have already been dead. Even if they survived the typhoon.
It wasn't, it was just a run-of-the-mill typhoon. It was not spectacular. And 2 other carriers, bulk carriers, had actually gone through the same typhoon. So Derbyshire should have gone through with no problem whatsoever.
The families had been wrong about what doomed the Derbyshire. It
Maybe,
wasn't
but
a
it's
structural failure, but a series of small compounding breakdowns.
maybe,
that
but it's
didn't
still the
matter.
ship's fault.
What did was their refusal from the very beginning to accept the official explanation. In the 1970s, hundreds of cargo ships were lost every single year, and seafarers were dying routinely.
Oh, that's
It's just the way
depressing.
it was. So officials were never really hiding anything. They just didn't care.
That's almost fucking worse. In fact, I would call that fucking worse. That's just, oh, it's just the way it is. We're not going to try to change anything. No, that's fucking worse. Like, what the fuck?
But through their years of persistence, the families forced an industry to change.
Thank
Ship designs
you.
improved, rules were tightened, and inspections got tougher.
As they
In the
should.
end, they didn't just find a ship, they changed the course of maritime history, and in doing so, protected thousands of others who would one day sail the same sea.
So that blew, which then blew this one, which in turn blew the rest of these and sunk this ship really fucking quick, I'm assuming.
It barely made it off the runway. With a single fuel tank hanging off the left wing, the pilot has to constantly trim just to keep it flying straight.
Oh.
That jamming pod, it's meant for a completely different type of aircraft. But this abomination
What is this?
is headed straight for the enemy. And it's going to flip the entire air war in a single afternoon.
Oh, this seems interesting.
I'm putting the finishing touches on my most ambitious project yet, a deep dive into one of the greatest air combat stories in history. And it's never been told like this before.
Did you
Oh,
actually see your missile hit the plane?
Yes, it was beautiful.
What started out as a regular mustard video has turned into an obsession. For months, I've been piecing together a brilliant story, researching and painstakingly choreographing dogfights, shot by shot, frame by frame. I've built new 3D models because the ones available just weren't good enough. All of it crafted to bring this story to life with unprecedented accuracy. And I'll be releasing it next month on Nebula. Nebula is where you can
Is
watch
it only on
hours of
Nebula?
exclusive mustard videos you won't find anywhere else.
oh, that kind of sucks.
Videos that explore fascinating stories behind iconic machines and fantastic unrealized concepts.
That
These
would
are
have been
stories
cool to
told
see.
the way they deserve to be, in-depth, visually, and unconstrained by the YouTube algorithm, like my Nebula original on the legendary B2 Spirit, where I take a deep dive into the origins of one of the most sophisticated aircraft ever produced. Nebula is a streaming platform
Yeah,
built
that would have been dope to see. So this is all it had for his Nebula. You know, I'll let it go
specifically
through.
for people who appreciate
He deserves
thoughtful,
this shit.
high-quality content. Because it's owned by creators, we're free to innovate and push boundaries, and you get to enjoy the results. You're not just getting ad-free access to unique content, you're unlocking a catalog of premium storytelling from creators like Real Engineering, Real Time
They're
History, and Wendover.
I don't
And
know
it's
either of
where
those
you'll
last two,
enjoy
but
a
the first one,
growing
Real
catalog
Engineering, is
of
pretty fucking dope,
originals, like Neo's Underexposure series, where you can learn about topics that aren't really suited for the YouTube algorithm, produced with unrushed
Bin Laden.
storytelling and beautifully crafted visuals. By signing up, you support creators like me and support our best work by helping to fund high-quality projects that otherwise could never have been made. And joining Nebula has never been easier or more rewarding. Choose between monthly and yearly subscriptions, or even lifetime memberships to enjoy unlimited access forever. You can also now give Nebula as a gift with annual
Which is
or
cool.
lifetime membership gift cards. Sign up using the link below or by going to nebula.tv/mustard and get 40% off an annual subscription for just $36 a year or $3 a month.
That's not bad at all. Sorry. Oh, that was cool. I like that. This was a really cool video. I gotta check out more of his stuff. Mustard, this is actually a really cool channel. Wow, that was the sinking no one could explain by Mustard. Like, holy shit. I didn't think I'd get that bent out of shape about it or anything like that, but I did. That was a really good video. Make sure you check out the original. It's linked down below. We'll give that bitch a like right now. Oh, that was good. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.